Mr. Prime Time, please.
Hello, there we go. Hi. I'm lucky enough to be a returning pre-college student. I came here last year. And I wrote this poem in between pre-colleges in the middle of my school year. And it's sort of about letting the things I learned in pre-college last year and the people I met propel me forward as opposed to keeping me stuck in one place. There's a music box emporium right down the street from me. It's got a battered wooden sign from somewhere long ago. I still remember when they refined each letter until it spelled in a perfectly italicized picture. Music is magic. I always thought that was a funny thing to hang up. And that's when I met the music man, old owner guy. I asked him what his name was once, and he said, "Not as important as yours." And I said, "That's funny, because my name's important." It was the kind of joke only a 7-year-old could find funny, so I did. But every day as I strolled down the street to the bus stop around the corner, he'd go, "Howdy, important." Things seemed pretty normal over there at the Music Box Emporium down the street. It had these 2 big windows, neither too interesting, a pretty box with a hope or a love or a dream scrawled across its face. And I wanted to breach the silent barricade that always arose after the first hellos, so I did. And I asked the music man how they could smile, and he said it doesn't happen very often, but their smiling style usually makes it worthwhile. It was the kind of joke you weren't sure was a joke. It's funny, I knew the music man, and I passed by him every day, but I'd never gone out of my way to take a peek inside the Music Box Emporium down the street, so I did. One day, I looked past the love and the hope and the dream, and I found a box tagged Reliance. It played a backwards harmony, but I couldn't find a melody, and it was almost as if chemically I wanted to sing. So I asked the music man what is supposed to be found in this discordance, and he said, "Sometimes in life, you need to feel important." I realized a few years later it wasn't a kind of joke at all. When I was 16, I started working in the Music Box Emporium down the street, and on the first day, the music man gave me the grand tour. He said, "This is my store, start sweeping," and so I did. And I swept every inch of that 300-square-foot store, and when I was done, the music man returned, took me to the back of the room, opened a door to a warehouse of music boxes, and said, "You missed a spot." It was his kind of joke, but I spent every day in that Music Box Emporium down the street sweeping and cleaning and polishing and categorizing every box in that store. And every day, the music man would come in with a new box. And I always wanted to ask him what kind of music they played, but I stayed awkward for a while until one day he brought in a box tagged important. So I had to ask, "Is that for me?" It was the kind of joke that wasn't there to make you laugh, but he said, "Ha, sure." And he gave it to me. Although he never did give me a key. But that gave me the courage to ask him about the music boxes, so I did, and he told me. He said, "This one plays with frantic symphony, and its polyphonic rhetoric will lead you to life's largest load panic, and this one plays a cacophony of life's mechanic noises, because sometimes you need to drown out the world, and this one is a mirror that plays whatever song it sees in the air, because sometimes life requires a soundtrack, and this one has a dancer, so that whenever life leaves you alone, you know you can dance to an Argentine tango with your minuscule ballerina, and this one is for deaf people. It shakes and vibrates, and its tune reverberates into the unseen, unspoken parts of life." A few weeks later, I had to leave the Music Box Emporium down the street, and as I relinquished my fine connection to those 2 rooms of music, the music man came in with a new box, no tag. He said, "This is for you. See, this one does nothing. Because sometimes life doesn't give you any music, and when it doesn't, open this and make your own." So I did, and I found a poem. Thank you.